How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Nice to see you. So there's 5 of you sitting around the table with me right now. We're going to meet each of you. We're going to learn about the book you chose to defend for Canada Reads. This is how we tend to do it here on Q. So I'm going to introduce each of you, ask each of you to give a 30-second elevator pitch, a statement about the book you're defending. During that 30 seconds, you make your case about what is your book all about. Why is it the book all Canadians should read? To get you prepped for the big week in March, I'm going to introduce you to the mighty, the powerful Canada Reads bell.
Oh God!
So at the end of 30 seconds, and I guess Danielle, I'll count the 30 seconds on my phone. Or are you going to do it on the clock there? She's going to do it on the clock. Okay, great. So, you ready for this?
Born ready.
Okay. You can find our first panelist courtside of the Raptors 905. He's the creator of the Hangout for NBA TV Canada. He's the co-host of the official Raptors podcast, host of the Raptors Public Fan Zone and Viewing Party, Jurassic Park. Born in Trinidad, calls Toronto home. Hi, Akhil Augustin. How you doing?
I'm good. How you?
I'm doing pretty good. You were not looking forward to being first to do this.
I don't like being first. I mean, unless it's the end of the race.
So, but we haven't started the 30 seconds yet. That's pretty good. We haven't started the 30 seconds yet. What's the name of the book you're defending?
Radicalized.
By?
Cory Doctorow.
All right, you have 30 seconds to defend your book. Tell us why this is the book all of Canada needs to read.
Well, first off, if every Canadian should read it, every Canadian should be able to identify with it. And I think Cory's done a good job of doing 4 short stories with 4 very different main characters that we can all kind of put ourselves in their position. And it's confronting issues that I think we're all going to have to deal with in the near future, whether it comes with health insurance, the internet, identity. Just the problems of the future are brought into a very interesting way.
Wow, 26 seconds under time. Not gonna lie to you, good sign.
Okay.
That's a good sign for Canada Reads. Brevity is a good sign for Canada Reads. Just keep all that in mind. Ready for our second panelist?
He's using big words.
Is a
No idea what they mean.
is a YouTuber covering all types of topics with wellness and sexuality at the forefront on her YouTube channel. From Vancouver, British Columbia, Elena Fender. Elena, what are you defending?
I'm defending Small Game Hunting at the Local Coward Gun Club by Megan Gale Coles.
By Newfoundlander and Labradorian Megan Gale Coles.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited about this. Your 30 seconds starts when I ring this bell.
So this is unlike any book I've ever read, and that's why I'm excited to defend it. Through writing that's both poetic and sharp, Coles shows you what it's like to walk through the world as a marginalized person. So somebody deemed less than, whether that's a woman, a person of color, a low-income person struggling to afford their next meal. This book, in part, is a story of these things intersecting. And Coles warns us at the start that it might hurt a little, and it sure did.
26 seconds as well.
Oh my God.
Brevity again.
I mean, I had more, but your hand was hovering over the bell.
I was trying to help you out here. I was trying to make sure you didn't go overtime.
It's like a shot clock.
Listen, would you rather go panic or break the rules? That's my question.
Yeah, panic.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'll choose panic.
All right, so Elena Fender there, our second panelist. Our next panelist has been nominated for her work for a 2020 Screen Actors Guild Ensemble Award for her work in The Handmaid's Tale. You might have seen her on Workin' Moms, Orphan Black, Kim's Convenience. The list goes on, but I'll get right to welcoming Amanda Bruegel. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So what's the book you're defending?
I am defending We Have Always Been Here by Samra Habib.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready. I'm not going to be 26 seconds, guys. I'm not. Brevity is not my strong suit.
Am I going to? So I'm going to end up hitting the 30-second
and
bell?
I'm going to talk over you. I'm just going to tell you
and
that
you're
now.
going to Best Picture Oscars me?
Yeah.
You're going to Best Supporting Actor me?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep hitting this bell, and then we're going to start playing long string music to take you off.
Sad
Are you
nominee.
ready?
Look out. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Every human shares the primal need to be accepted. We Have Always Been Here is an uplifting memoir that provides rare insight into the queer Muslim experience. Now, seldom does one book provide validation for some while compelling others to make space for unfamiliar narratives. Listen, as Canadians, we make room for every voice. It is part of our collective DNA. Samra's voice represents not 1, not 2, but 3 dismissed communities that deserve our attention, making it by far the most urgent read of 2020.
Oh my God. 26 seconds.
I did!
Yeah.
I did it!
You did it in less than 30 seconds. That is unbelievable.
Thanks.
I thought we were going to have to bring in like an orchestra
So
and,
did I.
and start playing you off.
Just
then,
wait until we're live, though.
And then
When
you'd
we're
say
live,
stuff like, take it out. Stop it, we're off to a good start. Amanda Bruegel, everybody. Round of applause. I think you
Thanks,
did a great job.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You might know our next panelist as the sharp-shooting, fast-talking Tanis from Letterkenny. She's the host of her own podcast called Coffee with My Ma. She's starring as Mary in the soon-to-be-released National Geographic drama series Barkskins. She's from Kaniehtiio First Nation outside of Montreal. Now she lives in Toronto. Kaniehtiio Horn, welcome to Q.
Hey.
Are you ready for Canada Reads?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is not the hesitance that I have seen in any other panelist. Not a great sign
Let's
so
go,
far.
let's go,
George
let's go.
Canyon just staring you down.
It's a tactic. It's
What
a
is
tactic.
what is the name of your book?
Son of a Trickster,
By?
Eden Robinson.
In 30 seconds, tell me why this is the book you believe all Canadians should read.
It's nice to see yourself reflected back in a novel. It can be rough and truly heartbreaking being Indigenous in these times. I know these characters. They're my people. I've hung out with them. I've grown up with them. I've even seen some of myself in some of them. They're complex, they're angry, sad, and some are very lost, but the most important thing is their sense of humor, which carries them through. This is a modern-day coming-of-age story and the Indigenous experience in Canada with a new, fresh, supernatural twist that includes magical beings, clan people, and a sexy, dangerous antagonist. Indigenous people view the world through a different lens, and Eden captures it perfectly.
28 seconds. Fantastic. Under time. Also, I love when I was like, you know what, you're pretty calm about this, and you said to me, it's a tactic.
Yeah. I know how to play.
You absolutely do. I am more terrified of you than I've been of anybody in my entire life. All right, last but not least, our final panelist is a Juno Award-winning country artist. He's been inducted into the Nova Scotia Country Music Hall of Fame. George Canyon is here. Hi, George.
How are you?
Nice to see
I'd
you.
like to inspect your bell, please.
No way, buddy.
There's something wrong
This
with
is a Canadian broadcasting. Every Canadian government employee gets this bell.
Really?
No.
man.
You have 30 seconds to tell us what the book is that you... No, sorry, you don't have 30 seconds to tell us about the book you chose. What is the name of the book you chose?
The name is From the Ashes,
By?
written by Jesse Thistle.
You have 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
To tell us why this is the
Wait, I gotta
book.
put on my glasses because I'm the old guy here.
I'm not going to lie to you. This is taken away from your 30 seconds.
This is a tactic. This is a tactic.
didn't
30 seconds
Dio's
starts
right. This
now.
is absolutely a tactic happening right now.
Yeah.
I can see you on the live stage being like, actually, guys, I can't debate right now. Got to put on my glasses.
I'm an old
Put on my
guy.
glasses.
Got to put my shawl on.
Come on.
Ready and
Ready.
go. Oh, hold a second.
Oh, so, see. Oh,
There you
that,
go.
wait, that completely threw. You complete.
Three. I had one job. Bring the clock back
I've
up,
known Tom
Danielle.
for a bit, and let me tell you, I could tell you some stories. But we're gonna go there.
You know, maybe you're going to get 40 seconds.
Maybe. See, look
3,
at
2, 1, go.
Seriously, never before has a book had such a profound effect on me. Not only did it bring me to tears, it really opened my eyes. I thought my 3-foot bubble didn't exist, but it does. And we all have a 3-foot bubble as Canadians, and we're very blessed to have that and that freedom. Every Canadian needs to read this book to understand, to get outside of their 3-foot bubble, to hear Jesse Thistle's story and what he went through as a young boy, right up through adulthood. The fact that he's still alive is a serious miracle of the Lord, and to hear his story just moved me beyond words.
34 seconds.
Hey, he said I got 40.
Yeah, but he also
It's
said
that-
brevity was a strong suit.
You lose
Yeah.
a point for every second over.
Do you?
I'm not entirely sure that's how it works. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not. Maybe so.
Yeah.
I know they keep me down here during the whole thing. They don't let me do it. George Canyon, thanks a lot, George
Thank
Canyon,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
34 seconds. That's what you get when you get to be my age. You get an extra 4 seconds.
Oh,
Take
such
your
an
time.
old guy.
See?
Clearly shaping up to be another year of fierce competition. I'm here with all 5 panelists from this year's Canada Reads. Just announced today. The debates get underway in March. You guys just met for the first time yesterday, right?
Yeah.
How's it been going?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like
Good.
Awful.
I'm not gonna lie.
Having a
You know,
terrible time.
I'm kind of heartened to hear you say that because I feel like people come in at the beginning of this thing. This is not my first rodeo with Canada Reads. This is not my first time. Thank you, George. This is not my. And I find that most of the time when you guys come in at the beginning, it's a lot of like, hey, no, come on, we're just here to talk about books.
Somebody might have brought a ring to set yesterday. A particular ring.
Excuse me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Championship
do a photo
sort
shoot.
of
I
ring.
mean, we had to get a small crane to lift the thing in
first
here.
off,
But
Can I hear the story? What happened?
First off, I'd like to say I wish there was a basketball reference instead of the rodeo reference in there, but I did bring my NBA championship ring with me.
You did? Is this an intimidation tactic?
Yeah, it was.
Well, I figured,
was, yeah,
you
it
get
was.
props help. He's got the hat, man. She's got the hat. They're all beautiful. I just got me, so I figured I'd bring the ring.
What I love about this is I was saying that
You're
you have
beautiful.
like most people come in at the beginning of this thing, and it's very much like a. Oh, come on. We're just here to talk about books. This is great. I mean, winners,
No, it's
losers, whatever.
competition.
No.
I love this. I love that you're taking it very seriously because it's a matter of time before it becomes a very, very deep competition.
Oh, no, I think we all came in understanding that we came to end each other's careers.
Hold on. I want to point out that it's not just win the best
winning.
book.
Oh, no,
It's,
it's ending.
it's ending each other's careers.
That's what we're here for.
Going for the jugular.
This is Canada Cancels here on Q. I'm so happy it's finally happening.
Oh, I want to tune into that show.
I would watch Canada Cancels.
I think we're pretty close to it. Amanda, what do you make of the theme? One book to bring Canada into focus.
I love the theme this year. I think it really applies. I mean, we are nearing fever pitch right now in North America as we are polarized by just about everything, religion and race and gender, and it's a frightening time. And I think the way to bring Canada into focus and the way that we move forward as a nation is continue to embrace our tolerance, embrace our multiculturalism, and tell stories that have never been heard. I feel like my book, I don't know anything about the queer Muslim community, and I think that we owe a lot of communities that are dismissed and ignored our attention. It helps us remain just more knowledge, and it helps us to understand each other and have just more empathy.
Akhil, how about you? What do you make of the theme this year?
Bring Canada into focus?
Yeah.
I think it's important because we're the little brother of a pretty powerful nation, and that nation is kind of where pop culture goes. And so we really look at what the Americans are doing and how partisan it is. And we see that starting to trickle into our own culture. We saw attempts by the conservatives to adopt some of the tactics that have been used by people on the conservative side of the American policy machine. And so I think we want to be very careful to let the big brother have too much of an impact on us, and it's very important the CBC exists and that we do things like that where we kind of draw the line that I think North America is a place that's championed a lot of freedoms for the planet, and America's done that, but Canada's done it a little bit differently. We have our idiosyncrasies, we have our universal health care to a certain extent, and certain things make us different. It's very important for us to kind of, especially right now, remember we're kind of a little bit different. We're not the States, and so really invest in that identity, because I think that's what's going to help us to survive some of the issues that are going to come up in the near future.
And something we can definitely get through our work, through our literature, through some of the books that you picked out. I'm excited you guys all got to meet one another today. I am curious, Dio, how are you sizing up the competition here?
I think my tactic is to be quiet and kind of glare around. I think that's what I've been doing a little
Intimidation.
bit.
Is she terrifying anybody else?
Oh, yeah.
This is
I'm so sweet. Amanda knows me, though.
You also don't say your tactic if that's your tactic. You don't tell people ahead of time.
Here's my
A
tactic,
deeper layer,
quiet.
Yeah,
Her
there's
tactic is
something
deception.
underneath that.
But how
Well,
do you-
yesterday they asked about what our tactics were, and I was like, "What do you mean? I don't know. I'm just gonna argue real good, right?" And they're like, "Oh no, people make alliances and stuff." I was like, "I had no idea." All right, so
That's what I'm saying.
The girls had a discussion the other day,
We'll see what happens.
yesterday, guys.
About an alliance? What is it, Survivor?
Yeah.
You want to leave now?
It sure is.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm starting to see. I'm starting to
Rule
see.
number one of an
Look at this.
alliance: you don't tell people about our alliance.
I don't know.
Well, let's
Yeah.
go back. Elena, how about you? How are you feeling about the competition here?
I came into this really, truly, and this is not a tactic, wink, wink, really, truly not understanding that this was such a severe,
innocence
intense
card?
competition.
It's all BS.
Yeah, your
Yes.
tactic is the old guy. I'm just so young and innocent. I don't really know what's going on. Was that not?
did.
Those not
You
your
did in the
words? I'm
Yes,
pretty
'cause
sure.
I am.
But now, yeah, so I was thinking, I'm excited about this book. I'm excited to defend it. I'm excited for people to read it. And now I'm excited to see how this competition goes.
I'm seeing it get more and more heated. George, last word to you. I'm going to get you a shirt that says "Your tactic is the old guy."
I like it.
I'm going to get you a shirt that just says
The
that.
old guy.
How are you feeling about the competition? Are you expecting it to get heated?
Oh yeah, it's going to get heated, but
Oh yeah.
well, no, I'm not saying I am, but I'm going to watch it get heated around me. I think it's great, something like this to really promote reading. I was in a school a few months ago, and we were talking about creative writing. Did you guys do creative writing?
Yeah,
Some
saved me.
of you-
Saved my GPA.
Yeah, and these kids didn't do that at all. In fact, they didn't write. They just used laptops.
There's no cursive anymore.
No, and I kind of went, whoa, that's wrong. And we need to really encourage the use of libraries again. Man, when I was a kid, there was no internet or cell phones.
Oh, yeah, I think we know that.
You went,
Oh my
listen,
God!
how's your left shoulder with the weight of that ring, buddy?
Oh my
I
God!
know, we celebrate Canada, and I think we need to take time, everybody, to celebrate Canada more these days especially. We're so blessed to live here.
I'm excited that you guys are here. These are your 2020 Canada Reads panelists: Elena Fender, Kaniehtiio Horn, Akhil Augustin, Amanda Bruegel, and George Canyon. You can catch the Canada Reads debate starting March 16th by tuning into CBC Radio 1 and online, cbcbooks.ca. You'll hear lots more from the 2020 panelists in the coming weeks here on Q. I have never heard such entertaining banter between the Canada Reads hosts before, so I'm looking forward to this one. Check out more information about the panelists and their books at cbcbooks.ca.